You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Doctor, this is the mayor talking.
All right.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
If you came here to hear for fake, you are in the wrong place. We are for real around here. We keeps it real. This is the Doug Stewart Show, the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Are you not entertained? This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show. Yes! Game time. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Talk to Me Tuesday, baby. And oh boy, got a lot of great stuff we're going to do today, man. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. We got a lot going on, and we're going to have a great time for the next 2 hours, shawty. Tree in here. While the cat is away, the mouse will play. Oh, boy. Yeah. So today I'm doing the show by myself. Tree, I don't think she's coming in late. She had to go see a man about a horse. But it's all good. We're going to take care of it, man. Thank you so much for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Talk to Me Tuesday once again. Shouts out to all of the Stewies already in the chat room. My peoples. Thank you for supporting the Doug Stewart Show. We are right around the corner from the 1-year anniversary of the show. If you listened to me yesterday, I talked about the Doug Stewart Show weekend going down the weekend of September 26, 2015. And I actually rolled out the little marketing advertising campaign for it yesterday. So it's going to be big, man. We're excited around here. Our year has gone by real fast. We're doing big things. Shots out and thank you to all of the Stewies once again, man. I appreciate it, man. I mean, I knew we were going to do it. I knew we were going to do it, but a lot of haters out there, a lot of people questioning whether we could make this happen, and we are doing it. You see the title of the show, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You see the title of the show, it says, I'm the best show host out there, period. Kind of tied into the RG3 conversation, which we'll get into in a little while, but I really do believe that, man. Nobody on radio, online has fun and talks dude talk and sports and laugh. And even every once in a while, I even sing for your ass. That ain't no joke. I know. Thank you, studio audience. So, thank you so much for the support, man. Continue to pass the word. Tell people about the show. And give the gift of the Doug Stewart Show. Once again, the weekend of September 26th is going down real big, man. All the details, all the information about all the events that particular weekend celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Doug Stewart Show, as well as Carolina weekend, in which I've dubbed it. You can get all the details at tdssweekend.eventbrite.com. Once again, that's TDSS, the Doug Stewart Show, tdssweekend.eventbrite.com. If we got any new listeners, there's no if about it. Once again, if the new listeners that are checking out the show for the first time, or maybe one of the first times you've listened to the show, thank you, and trust me, we have a great time around here, and we do sports and guy talk like nobody else. Follow the show on Spreaker.com. Hit the little follow button on Spreaker, and so whenever I go live, maybe once in a while we may have to change the time. We very rarely do that. We've done that maybe 3 times in the past year, so our schedule is 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. So follow the show, as well as hit the little chat button. There's a button that looks like a little comic book talk bubble thingy from back in the day, and I guess still today. And you click on that, and then you're introduced to a whole new world of sports and guy chat. I call it the fantasy island of sports chat. And its inhabitants are the Stewies! Yes! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you can also do it old school style by giving me a call and get your take out there live and in real time. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. As I just mentioned, we're going to talk about RG3. RG3, man, you know what? Okay, I'm going to hold my thoughts on it. We'll get to it definitely in the next segment. but we're going to talk some RG3 in the next segment. We'll also talk about the latest on Geno Smith with the New York Jets. What else we going to hit? Arizona Cardinals signed a new player. There's a couple of Brian Mitchell of the New York Yankees. That story out there a little bit. Chris Johnson. What else are we going to get into? Oh. I want to touch upon some information I found out about the new movie that just came out this past weekend, Straight Outta Compton. Mind-boggling the numbers this thing did, and we'll kind of discuss a little bit at some point today on why it was so successful. We'll talk about that. Oh, yeah, and also today we're going to do our preseason team reports, football team reports, one college, one pro. Today we'll talk about the USC Trojans and Vince's Minnesota Vikings. Very, very briefly, though. So we'll talk about what's transpired with those teams in the offseason, what the outlook is in 2015 as well. So today, the USC Trojans and the Minnesota Vikings. Before I forget, man, yesterday I didn't talk about the Falcons, and I don't know how I missed that or whatever. All caught up in talking about power and Straight Outta Compton, the movie from the past weekend. Had a lot of fun doing that. But I didn't talk about the Falcons. They had their first preseason game this past weekend against the Tennessee Titans. And they won the game. It's just preseason. Nobody give a rat's ass about preseason because, it is what it is. It's preseason. So a lot of the starters didn't play. If they played just for a short period of time. But one thing I will say, one thing I kind of took away from this team, they got a new head coach. Dan Quinn comes over as the head coach, defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks for a couple of years, the championship years where they went to the Super Bowl, won one and lost another one. So Dan Quinn, they're bringing in this new attitude, the defensive attitude. And I'll say this, man, it's just a preseason game, but the Falcons looked, what's the way I can put it? In that one or two series where they had the defensive starters out there, they look like a very, very aggressive team. They did. Yes, they did. That boy, Vic Beasley, man. And I got a lot of email yesterday after the fact, and I wasn't able to read a lot of the chat, so I went back and read all of the chat, and people were talking about the Falcons. That Vic Beasley, man, once again, it's just preseason. You don't want to buy into these guys all out until you actually see them in actual gameplay in the regular season. But that Vic Beasley, even though he didn't get a sack, you talk about putting pressure on a quarterback's ass? Oh, he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. I absolutely fell in love with Vic Beasley a couple of years ago when Georgia played Clemson in Death Valley. And I think Vic Beasley probably had like 3 sacks that night, like 4 or 5 more hurries. And I emphatically said it that night. That kid going to play on Sundays. Not only is that kid going to play on Sundays, but that kid is going to be a high pick. And lo and behold, the Falcons draft him, man. And once again, it's just a preseason game. But the defense looked very aggressive. Justin Durant, my homeboy, who's actually from the state of South Carolina, will look good out there. He had an interception. He had a couple of plays. Paul Warlow looked decent, coming back this year. A guy who was really counted on last year defensively as well. So, hey, look, I'm not saying the Falcons are going to win double-digit games. What I'm saying to you is, from the perspective of looking at a team doing preseason, 2-a-days, training camp, and taking it for what it is, just preseason, the Falcons look like they switched to another gear defensively. Now, offensively, you got, top 2 or 3 wide receivers in the game in Julio Jones. Roddy's still Roddy White, even though he's a little bit long in the tooth. And you got one of the best quarterbacks in the game. A lot of people will tell you. And so I think they'll be fine offensively. You got this Coleman kid who didn't play because of injury, but at some point, you expect him to get in there. He's the guy they took early in the draft. So the running with Anton Smith, if everybody can stay healthy, they've got a lot of injury issues with the running back positions, Devontae Freeman as well. But offensively, they're going to score points. But defensively, if they can get after the quarterback like they did this past weekend, I think the Birds might be okay, baby. I think they might be okay. Yes, sir. Oh, man, the last 2 years have been absolutely horrible. I mean, there's nothing worse than going to a football game, man, and your team absolutely sucks. And I'm holding 2 thumbs down. Was it last year when Chicago came here? And it was 98% of the fans were Chicago Bear fans, and it was humiliating. So, man, we've kind of been used to good football here in Atlanta. The Vic years. I'll even go back to the Vic years. I mean, just a great experience at the Georgia Dome. And then the first couple of years with Matt Ryan, I mean, very successful. The last 2 years have just been bad. So hopefully Dan Quinn and this new-look Falcons team is going to turn it around. All right, when we get back from the break on the Doug Stewart Show, I want to talk about RG3 and this comment he made. He says he's the best quarterback in football. I mean, yeah, I know. This ninja crazy. But is he crazy? We'll talk about it when we get back. I'll take your phone calls at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. RG3 Talk. Up next. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
The Doug Stewart Show.
The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show.
If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you. So they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. All right, so this is my new favorite song, man. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. I change my theme music up every once in a while. You know, every great hero has his own theme music, right? Huh? You know what I'm talking about. Yes, sir! Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Where you at? Fit to get loose. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Talk to Me Tuesday. And the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. A little bit later, we're going to talk about the USC Trojans as well as the Minnesota Vikings on our preseason football team reports on the Doug Stewart Show. But you've seen the story, man. Washington Redskins quarterback RG3, Robert Griffin III, hasn't lost his confidence at all. And talking to WJLA-TV, he was asked about his career and what he expects for this season. Here's a quote from RG3. He says, "I feel like I'm the best quarterback in the league, and I have to go out and show that," he told the station. "Any athlete at any level, if they concede to someone else, they're not a top competitor. They're not trying to be the best that they can be." And I'm going to sit back here, man, on Tuesday, and I'm going to applaud RG3. Now, is he anywhere in the neighborhood of telling the truth? No. But he says that's what he believes. Is it actually true? No, it's far from true. As a matter of fact, I think RG3 would probably be classified in the lower third of quarterbacks, not even the lower third. He's probably one of the top or one of the worst 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the game, based on what he's done, based on the fact that he can't stay on the field, but that's neither here nor there. The man says, I feel like I'm the best quarterback in the league, and I've always talked about this, man. I hate when a team comes out, when any athlete comes out, a team comes out, and they'll throw up a number, and they'll say, like in the NFL, well, I think that we can go 11-5 this year. What? What the hell? Where they teach that at? You don't start out the season before you play the game saying that you're going to lose any. You don't start out already giving yourself losses, that's a loser mentality. And the same, essence what RG3 is talking about. You have to feel like you're the best, okay? And whether it's true or not, you can't put anybody over you. You can't give anybody more props to you, especially when you're playing the game. Now, when you're done, and still, even to that degree, I wouldn't put anybody over me or saying anybody could do something better than me in the particular field that I'm in. So I absolutely respect the guy's confidence, man. His knees are like Fred Sanford's, so he's not the same player that he was when he first came into the NFL, where he was the rookie of the year and did all those dynamic things. He's got bad wheels. It's as simple as that. The guy's got bad wheels, tore his ACL in college at Baylor, tore it again in the NFL, and so he's not going to be that explosive player that we, as well as the Washington Redskins and football fans all over the world, thought that he was going to be. He's just not. But I absolutely sign off on everything he said, man. And you know what? If a miracle happens and this guy can get back to being 100%, anything's possible. He could, become a very efficient quarterback in the pocket, not running the ball a lot, as he did when he first came into the league. He may, tune his game up to the particular scenario that he's in right now and adjust. It's as simple as that. And so what? I'm not mad at the guy. Everybody seems like they're killing him. I'm not an RG3 fan. I've always talked about how he should just keep his mouth shut and just play football. But here's the problem. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They asked him a question. They were talking about, this scenario of him being a quarterback in the NFL and how does he feel. And just to assure himself, maybe it's just to boost himself up and maybe to boost the fans up in Washington that, everything's going to be okay, to make them feel at ease. He says, man, I think I'm the best quarterback in the league. Now, once again, chances are that's not the case. If you have some type of mechanism to actually test that, I guess a quarterback rating or wins or Super Bowl rings or anything like that. But I definitely get where the man is coming from. Definitely get where the young man is coming from. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. What are your thoughts on that, man? If you're a Redskin fan, and I know we got some Redskins fans that listens to the show, if you're a Redskin fan, what do you think about that? What is your expectation for RG3 this year, man? Have we definitely seen the best of RG3 and will never ever get that type of quarterback that we thought that would be a perennial Pro Bowler year after year, and a guy that had all of the specific tools of a new jack quarterback to run, to throw the ball, can read a defense? Do you think that this guy can get back to the status that he was a couple of years ago? We talk about Tiger Woods and getting back to the Tiger Woods that we know and love. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. But is there anybody out there listening to the Doug Stewart Show that believes that RG3 can get back to the level in the play of quarterback that we saw in his rookie year in the NFL? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let me read a couple of your chat messages from KC. Casey says, and if a man wants to be called the best quarterback in the NFL, damn it, this is a free country. You should respect his wishes and call him the best quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, I get it. The little coming to America scene from Griff. I believe in if I make the trip from North Carolina to Doug's party. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, you can definitely come from North Carolina. Hell, that's a little small trip. From Rel Scott, he says the second coming of Cunningham has built like him too. Real talk. I don't know exactly who they talk about. I don't think they're talking about RG3. From Andre Elam, I'll take RG3 over sorry-ass Cap. Cap sucks. Ooh, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Who would I rather have? RG3 or Colin Kaepernick? Nah, I can't go with you in the RG3 thing because Colin Kaepernick had real success in the playoffs as well. I really think that the way that the San Francisco 49ers and that offense have gone astray is they kind of pull the reins back on dude, and they started doing things that weren't conducive to him performing well. And I don't know. They always talk about how when you get a new deal as a quarterback in the NFL, you're an investment. It's a huge investment. And Colin Colin Kaepernick got all that money, a lot of it not guaranteed, but he got a huge-ass contract, and so they're kind of trying to protect him. I don't think you can do that, man. I don't think you can go about it that way. I always felt that you get the best out of the guy that you can. What Colin Kaepernick does is run the football and play quarterback, okay? Maybe not in that order. And you got to let the guy be who he is. The same argument we always had with Vic when Vic was here, and it seemed like after a couple of years they kind of tried to keep him in the pocket, and even he was bamboozled into believing that he should stay in the pocket. That's not the attributes that the good Lord gave you. If you can't move, then you have to stay in the pocket. That's fine. And then obviously there's been a ton of great quarterbacks that have had success just sitting in the pocket. But, why would you not use a talent that the good Lord bestowed upon you? I never got that at all in my life. Now, does it mean that you're not going to play 10, 15 years in the NFL? Maybe. We don't know that. But you better damn well believe that if you got 5, 6 good years doing the things and having the skill level that the good Lord bless you with, once again, you need to do that. You need to do that. You need to be successful out in that field using, once again, all the tools that God gave you. So I really, and this, if you listened to me before, I have a real issue with the way the NFL tries to put a square peg in a round hole as far as these quarterbacks. And it's 2015, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And a lot of these guys coming out of high school and coming out of college, man, they're complete. When I say complete, they can run and they can throw. Okay, and I really hate to see guys negated to stay in the pocket because this is what we want you to do. John Gruden made a comment a couple of weeks ago on the Puppet Factory, and I can't remember exactly what the question was. And if I could have found that video, I would have played it on the show to kind of make my point. But he started talking about how he hates running quarterbacks and that they should stay in the pocket, and that's what he's used to, this, that, and the other. And so there's a culture. These coaches, they coach for a long-ass time, so there's a culture in the NFL of this is the way the quarterback position is supposed to be played. And it's changing. And a lot of guys are bucking, a lot of guys in decision-making capacities. I'm talking coaches, scouts, GMs, and they don't like that. And so what you have as a result is you have, Colin Kaepernick, sitting in the pocket like freaking Dan Marino. And I absolutely hate it. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. But these, the term they're using today is dual threat quarterbacks. There's more and more dual threat quarterbacks coming along every single year. And some of these programs, these high-profile programs, we talked yesterday about Notre Dame and how they always have these dual threat, Everett Golston type quarterbacks, Malik Zaire type quarterbacks that's going to be there this year that can run and throw, man. So the times is changing, but it's going to be a little bit, man. And I really hate how they're using Colin Kaepernick, to go back to the actual post. I really hate how they're using him out there this year. Hopefully he can get back to what they did a couple of years ago. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Something else I didn't get into yesterday on the Doug Stewart Show is James Harrison. Yeah, taking back participation trophies. Damn a participation trophy. Yeah, so we'll talk about that a little bit when we get back. I'll read more of your chat, get more of your thoughts on RG3, running quarterbacks / dual threat quarterbacks in the NFL. We'll hit upon that as well. Yeah, and more of your chat. All right? The Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Keep it locked. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it, and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
Have you ever pondered the true meaning of life? Why the world is filled with greed, evil, and corruption? Or if you could truly live forever? The answers to some of these questions are hidden in plain sight and are answered beyond a shadow of a doubt in the new book entitled Wake Up to the World's Best Kept Secrets. Some of the best kept secrets hidden in plain sight. These questions and much more are answered with irrefutable living proof, but more importantly, substantiated with profound biblical scriptural evidence used to support these eye-opening truths, with a heavy focus on the current state and plight of the so-called African Americans and black descendants of slaves scattered all around the world. This yet-to-be-released book will undoubtedly change his story as you know it. Wake Up to the World's Best-Kept Secrets will truly enlighten or re-educate the so-called African Americans and black descendants of slaves scattered all around the world. To read this eye-opening first chapter, please visit SeventhDayPublishing.com.
If you're not doing, what in the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. And talk to me Tuesday. We'll talk about the USC Trojans and the Minnesota Vikings a little bit later. Stay tuned for that. As well as getting your thoughts on RG3 and his comments. You just don't. And he sounds like a very intelligent guy, an RG3. Clearly sounds like he comes from a good family. I think he comes from a military family. And what he intended to say and what I meant for, or what he meant to say, probably didn't come across exactly like he wanted it to, but I 100% understand where the young man is coming from. Also, what are your thoughts on the Atlanta Falcons? They look pretty good this past weekend in preseason football for my Atlanta folks. If you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, we're based here in the ATL. The ATL is where I dwell. So this is the 20th year I've been in Atlanta. We are celebrating so many things on this weekend of September 26th. We're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Doug Stewart Show. We're celebrating 20 years of your boy being in the ATL, which, once again, I love Atlanta. I love Atlanta. And then we're also celebrating just a time for my folks from the state of South Carolina to come through and have a good time, and all my peoples in general. It's a celebration. It is. South Carolina's had a rough year, man. If you talk about some of the issues, the social issues going down the state of South Carolina, the Emmanuel 9, the Scott guy getting shot in the back by the police, the Confederate flag, man. Real tough year for the great state of South Carolina, man, the Palmetto State. But we're going to try to have a little bit of fun, man, and bring all the people together, all my peoples together. There's so many people that live in metro Atlanta from the state of South Carolina and North Carolina, for that matter. And so we're going to have a great time, man, on the weekend of September 26th. The website to get more information, and this thing is going to sell out. I think all the events are going to sell out. We got, I think, 5 events, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Starting out that Friday night, we've got the meet and greet downtown at Stir It Up, which is called the Artist Den, which is a real sexy, nice place. That night, the brothers, the dudes, the guys, and ladies too. We already had a ticket sale, one ticket sale from a young lady that's going to hang out with the fellas at T's nightclub. Yes, sir. That Friday night, late Friday night. Yeah, T's Gentlemen's Club in Buckhead. Then that Saturday, we got a golf tournament. All my Stewies that listen to the show and always talk about golf and loving the game of golf. We're going to have a tournament that Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, so you're going to have to get up from a long night of kicking it in ATL. And we're going to play some golf, give out trophies, first, second, third prize, all of that type of stuff. That night is the coup de grace. That's the term they use, the coup de grace. The black party, the all-black party that Saturday night at the Doubletree Hotel. Speaking of which, we got a small block of rooms for the weekend at the Doubletree Hotel in Buckhead. Once again, the Doubletree is 5 minutes. This is not a lie. I'm not exaggerating. Anybody from Atlanta will tell you this. The Doubletree is 5 minutes from Lenox Mall, from Phipps Plaza, ton of shopping. That's kind of like the uptown. You got, Manhattan, you got downtown, and you got uptown in New York. Buckhead is kind of like the second city to Atlanta, right, next to downtown Atlanta. And so you have that black party going on Saturday night, and that Sunday, man, ooh. And this thing just worked out perfect. That Sunday, the Falcons are taking on the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, so we're going to have the biggest viewing/day party in the city at Sweet Lounge downtown ATL. One price, get you food from Uncle Ray's Barbecue and Catering, all the way from Sumter, South Carolina. Yes, sir. DJ Bing on the Wheels of Steel that Sunday as well. So we're bringing the whole tailgate, the whole Two Live Stews tailgate to that Sunday, September 27th, when the Falcons take on the Cowboys at Sweet Lounge. So Uncle Ray, who always cooks at our tailgates, got that big-ass barrel grill. Uncle Ray's going to be cooking. DJ Bing's going to be playing the music like he does every tailgate the Stews have had over the last 10 years. We're bringing it all to Sweet Lounge, man, and one price, and you eat good. Yes, sir. TDSSweekend.eventbrite.com. So, Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker James Harrison, one of the best linebackers in the league over the last 10 years, man. He revealed in an Instagram post this weekend that he had taken back the trophies his two young sons received for just participating in sports. He says, quote, "While I'm very proud of my boys for everything they do, it will encourage them till the day I die. These trophies will be given back until they earn a real trophy. I'm not about to raise two boys to be men by making them believe that they are entitled to something just because they tried their best. Because sometimes your best is not enough. And that should drive you to want to do better, not cry and whine until somebody gives you something to shut up and keep you happy." Praise God for James Harrison. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And a term, and maybe, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I'll read more of your chat here in a second. A term, maybe we should have had this copyrighted as well, the sissification. This term we threw around all the time on the Stews back in the day, the sissification of America. And a lot of things are happening right now, man, and making our little boys soft. And, once again, this isn't a gender issue. This isn't a gay or lesbian conversation. I'm talking about little boys being soft as hell and whining and crying and scared to fight and not seeing it through. And I 100% agree. And we've talked about this before. Before James Harrison even, mentioned this or posted this on Instagram this past weekend. I mean, a lot of things today, man, are gearing these little boys just to be soft and weak. It is. Why the hell you gonna give somebody a trophy and they didn't do nothing? Now, my daughter runs track and field, and I'm trying to think, do they even give them anything for showing up? No, they don't give them anything for just showing up and participating. No, it's first, second, and third. I think at the Junior Olympics, they gave them a certificate, even if they didn't, medal. But they don't give them any quote-unquote trophies. Why would you? And what James is saying is exactly right. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Why would you build a kid up and make him feel like that life works like this. If I just go out there and participate and give my best, even though my best in relative terms just might suck, that I'm going to get awarded for it. Where they do that at? That doesn't work. I mean, I think it's the absolute wrong message to send, and I actually saw a poll online after this whole conversation came up, and 70% of the people, and it might have been on Yahoo or one of these news sites, 70% of the people that answered the poll, did they think it was right or wrong, said that no, they don't think it's right to give participation trophies, and so they agreed with James Harrison. And I 100% agree with James Harrison. So if you give a kid a trophy just for participating, what happens is, the way I think it works, and I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, you get trophies for just doing average work or below average work or work that sucks. So if you get to your job and say there's 50 salespeople, right? And, they got a budget. They got 50 salespeople and you rank as far as your sales 45th. They can only keep 30 salespeople. Now, you might be bringing in a couple dollars, but you're not bringing in the numbers and the money that they expect you to bring in. You're not going to get a raise. You're not going to get a trophy. Your ass going to get fired. If you're the 45th out of 50 salespeople at a company, but you've been brought up your whole life to get a participation trophy, to think that if I do the best that I can, and you might be doing the best you can, but you just might not be a good salesman. You've been brought up your entire life that if I'm on the team, my mom and them paid the money to get on this team, and I get a participation trophy that's going to carry over into real life. No, you have goals. You have numbers that you have to achieve in business and in the sales world. And to think that you're going to keep your job, or you should keep your job just because you come in there and you try your best, that's not the real world. And life ain't fair. My old man used to say it all the time. Life ain't fair. And they try to make you think that from TV and them cartoons you watch, boy. But life is not fair. And that's the real deal, Holyfield, man. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. So I 100% agree with James Harrison on that. And a lot of things we do in 2015, man, are just – it's just the sissification of America. I mean, it's lame. It's real lame. Even you go back a couple of weeks ago, people taking up for freaking Drake for having somebody else write his rhymes. And I know that just popped in my head, but it's the best example I could come up with in that quick a notice. Yeah. I mean, you didn't big up somebody after you found out they weren't writing their rhymes. That's the equivalent of saying that Milli Vanilli's still the best and you found out they was lip syncing. But in 2015, it's okay. It's okay. They use ghostwriters. What? No. And that's what I'm talking about. Back in 1987, that would never fly. That would never fly where you could get somebody else to write your rhymes and not even dispute it. And so I guess it's actually true and everybody's okay with it. No. But that's what I'm talking about. A quick example. I know, studio audience. I know. A quick example of the sissification of America. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, we're going to talk about some birthdays. That's what we do on the Doug Stewart Show as well. And I'm going to read your chat. All right? That's all I'm going to do. Read your chat. Talk some birthdays. That's it. All right? So don't go anywhere. You can email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. You can also give us a call at 404-382-0338. All right? Sports talk, guy talk with hot sauce. A show with no sissies. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Keep it locked. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, What I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you're not stewing, what in the world are you doing? Let's face it, the metro Atlanta area is a great place to live, but like most major cities, it has a huge crime problem. Doug Stewart here to tell you about the team of security experts at Strickland Security and Safety Solutions. Strickland Security is an Atlanta-based security company, and whether you need an alarm system installed in your home or business or your current alarm system needs to be repaired, Strickland Security is the solution. Do you need to install or repair an existing camera system in your home or business? Again, Strickland Security is the solution. The management team at Strickland Security has a combined 55 years in the business of protecting people and property. They have certified and licensed technicians that can service all of your security needs. So, if you have crime issues or concerns in your neighborhood, you need to call the experts at Strickland Security. Invite these guys to your next neighborhood watch or homeowners association meeting and let them tell you about all of their security services. One more thing. Go to their website to see their new mobile solutions. They developed a smartphone app specifically for neighborhood crime and safety notifications. For more information, go to their website at stricklandsecurity.com or give them a call at 800-422-9075 and tell them that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Talk to me Tuesday. No Tribute Tuesday today. I'm kind of still in the mode of NWA, and we already did a tribute to them last week. So no Tribute Tuesday today. I know. And if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, what Tribute Tuesday is, we play music from an old school artist usually. Kind of some of their classic hits on Tuesday's show, and I call it Tribute Tuesday today. No Tribute Tuesday because I'm still in the mode. And speaking of which, we got to get back into or get into some straight out of Compton talk. Some stories that came out yesterday talking about the success of that movie, so stay tuned for that. We'll do that. Hey, man, have you gotten your Doug Stewart Show T-shirt? If you haven't, you need to. Shame on you if you haven't. Support the Doug Stewart Show. Support independent radio. Go to the DougStewartShow.com. Click on the little donate button, they call it. And you donate $20 or more, man. We'll send you a T-shirt from the Doug Stewart Show, as well as say thank you very much. Yeah. So you don't have to just send $20. You can send $20,000 if you want. And I'm not joking about that. I'm very serious about that. You might be some type of sheik from Dubai or something like that, and you like listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, throw a brother a bone. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, it's very secure on PayPal. So that's the DougStewartShow.com. Click on the donate button, $20 or more. We'll send you a T-shirt. Birthdays today. Willie Cauley-Stein turns 22 years old today. My gosh. How nice it must be to be young, gifted, and rich. 22 years old, selected 6th overall by the Sacramento Kings. The Kings putting together a nice little squad out there, man. We'll see how the pieces mesh together, if they have any type of chemistry or whatever. But they definitely got some pieces from Malcolm Jamal Warner, a.k.a. Theo from The Cosby Show, turns 45 today. Why did I think Theo was older than me? I don't know. We're damn near the same age. I'm pretty much a year older than him. I turned 46 in November, so I'm like a year older than Theo. For some reason, I thought he was older than me. Robert Redford turned 79 years old today. Happy birthday to Robert Redford. And those are your birthdays. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let me go ahead and grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug Stewart, what's happening?
What's up? Who's this?
T from Huntsville, sir.
T from Huntsville. What up, baby?
Man, enjoying the show as always. 2 hours on radio, man.
So T, before you get into your little call, man.
Yeah.
So you called kind of early today. Usually you call late. Are you? I didn't sing yesterday. Are you hankering for a new selection of music? Okay, T. T. Wait. Let me finish my. Let me finish.
When we get to third hour, sir, maybe. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Let me finish my statement here for a second, T. Let me finish my statement. You kind of cut me off. Are you calling up here requesting a particular selection you'd like for me to sing? For new listeners that are listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I didn't mention this earlier, but not only do I talk sports and, guy talk and have a good time and, laugh and joke and all of that, but I also sing. I've been blessed with the gift of song. So T is a fan, and so sometimes he calls up and requests a song. Right, T? What is that what you're doing today, T?
No, I actually wanted to commend you on your take on RG3, man, if you don't mind. I'd like to get into that, man.
Oh, okay.
Until we get that third hour, man, I love hearing your sports take so much, man. It's hard for me, to request a song, man, because our time is so limited.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, go ahead, T.
Man, this RG3 thing, dude, first and foremost, if you haven't noticed that there's a yearly campaign against every young black quarterback, you're a damn moron. Matt Ryan can play, don't get me wrong, but this is perception versus reality. The last 2 years, and I think even Doug mentioned, he has some of the greatest receivers in the league, and they have not been successful as a team. Now, is that his fault? No. But if you're black and you're in that situation, the blame will be placed on your ass. But it's not placed on him because they like him. RG3 was the rookie of the year, then he got hurt, then he came back and played while hurt. Then he played for a coach that if you actually know football, you will realize that coach was a damn moron, didn't like his quarterback, threw him under the bus in the media, and called stupid plays all the damn time if you were watching.
You going back to Shanahan or Gruden?
No, I'm going back to Gruden, stupid.
Okay, gotcha.
I think he's a horrible coach. Last year he did not. It seemed to me like he was putting that man in bad positions on purpose. And it's a culture that has been developed in football from the announcers to the way the Florida Network covers it. I watched some preseason games. The Carolina-Buffalo game was really good. Tyrod Taylor showed it out. Anybody watching the game could realize that he played better than every other quarterback, but they were speaking about him like he was an afterthought, saying obviously Matt Castle is the starter. Mm. Why? Because he's already been given a starting position somewhere and failed. See, when Matt Castle fails, they don't do 5 stories on that. They just let it slide so he can keep working. When RG3 has a little bit of trouble after success, they try to destroy his black ass. I watched Cam throw a touchdown to his receiver in the end zone, and the announcer said this. That guy's so big, Cam can just throw it up there and hope he gets it. Downplaying what Cam does. Not saying that Cam threw it to the high and outside so only his receivers get it. They're not going to give Cam that credit.
Right.
So it's a matter of perception and reality. I think RG3 is playing just fine. Is he going to be great? I don't know. Does he suck? I'm not going to say he does right now, but I will say everybody is jumping the gun because that's what the media does. They attack the quarterback they don't like. Have you not noticed that they are attacking every young black quarterback? Gets his jaw broke. It's funny as hell. RG3 sucks all of a sudden. Kaepernick ain't ish. They're doing this for a reason. They're elevating Brady and them no matter how old they get, no matter what they do. They're still great. No matter what these other guys do, they suck because they don't want that leadership position given to somebody that looks like them because that's the only thing they got left. You can have a team full of ninjas as long as you have a white boy quarterback, you give them all the credit, which is why they call the quarterback the leader and give them credit for every damn thing the team does. And if they like them and they lose, it's not their fault. It's the team's fault. And one more thing, when a white quarterback misses a pass, the receiver ran the wrong route. If a black dude misses it, he fucked up, ran the wrong route, or threw a bad pass. Pay attention, you'll see that. Appreciate the time, man. I'm gone.
Hey, appreciate the call, T from Huntsville. Yeah, come on. And T talked about you can't be that stupid not to realize what's going on. I don't know if it's some type of a conspiracy some type of measured conspiracy, anything like that. I think subconsciously, this is what I think, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier in the conversation about what I heard John Gruden say one morning on Mike and Mike. I think subconsciously, because football has been played a certain way for so long, I think subconsciously when the announcers, they diss, quote-unquote diss, a black quarterback, or not even just a black quarterback, but an athletic quarterback, a dual threat type quarterback, when they diss them, it kind of elevates the traditional style quarterback. You see what I'm saying? Subconsciously, they might be doing it. They might not even realize they're doing it. But what they're saying is that this style of play is not going to work in the NFL. So we need to focus and continue doing it the way that we've done it forever, where we have Dan Marino or Peyton Manning, as a statue standing in the pocket. And I don't have anything wrong with that. I mean, obviously there's been a ton of great quarterbacks that's played in the NFL. I mean, hell, Tom Brady, I thought was the best quarterback to play in the league before all of this Deflategate stuff came up and came to light. Before that, Joe Montana has the number one quarterback of all time. What I'm saying to you is this. The style of football that these young guys are playing now coming out of college, your Cam Newton, your Colin Kaepernicks, your Russell Wilsons of the world, and all of these guys go back a little bit further to Mike Vick and before that even and Randall Cunningham, is more exciting to me. And I think you have more options with that. The problem is that some of these coordinators and these coaches been in the NFL and seen it done one type of way for the 40 years. So they're kind of stuck in their ways. And once again, it translates to the media as well. They don't even realize they're doing it, I promise you. Oh, this type of quarterback, he's going to run, he's going to get hurt. Well, yeah, he might be at a little bit more risk, but I don't even know about that. How many times have you seen a guy just get hurt in the pocket? Yeah. So why would you not get out of the way of a 300-pound defensive lineman coming to hit your ass? That doesn't make sense at all. Dan Marino got hurt standing up in the pocket, tore his Achilles by doing nothing. Tom Brady got hurt standing in the pocket, was out for an entire year because he was standing in the pocket and somebody clipped up his damn knee. So what does running have to do with anything? And you see running quarterbacks run their entire lives and never get an injury or never sustain an injury, which you can really attribute it to the fact that they just ran. Randall Cunningham never really got hurt. Okay, he did get hurt that one year, but cats get hurt all the time. My point is do what you do. Do what you do. And to T's point, yeah, it does seem like the norm is either you do it this way, and if you do it the other way and you mess up, we're going to highlight the hell out of it. That's what it does seem like to me, and I agree with T's call to a large degree. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Let me read a little bit of this chat before we get out of here from the Oklahoma Sigma. So, Doug, what do you think about Ice Cube writing the raps for NWA? I guess this goes back to my comment earlier about, Drake and rappers not writing their rhymes in 2015, how whack I think that is. The difference is that's acknowledged. That's acknowledged that Ice Cube wrote rhymes for Dr. Dre and for Eazy-E, and those guys weren't rappers. And we don't consider those guys, Oklahoma Sigma, you might be a young guy. See, this is perfect. We don't consider Dr. Dre or rap enthusiasts, rap historians, which I consider myself, we don't consider or even think about Dr. Dre or Eazy-E in the conversation of best rappers going or best rappers of all times. You remember the whole thing about Drake I brought up on the show was because they had him on this billboard, this Sprite billboard, with Rakim and Nas and who was it, Tupac or Biggie, and that's ridiculous. Yeah, nobody ever considered. So writing rhymes for those guys were performers, and they never denied that Ice Cube was writing their rhymes, and they never would want to be considered, I think, even if you asked Dr. Dre and Eazy-E, if he were here, R.I.P., do they think they're one of the best rappers of all time? I'm sure they'll tell you no. I'm sure they would. The thing with Drake is that cats trying to put Drake in the same conversation with Big Daddy Kane. And that's not right. That is absolutely not right. But in 2015, no disrespect to you, Oklahoma Sigma, cats like Oklahoma Sigma and these young people are debating me about it's okay for a rapper to have somebody write his rhymes. Rappers are poets. Poets don't have somebody else write their poems. You know? Don't try to compare them to R&B artists that have songwriters. That's established. That's the status quo of how that industry works. No, rappers write their rhymes. Now, if they don't write their rhymes, that's fine. More power to them. You just can't be considered the greatest to ever do it. You just can't do it. That's my opinion. I'm old school. Maybe I'm a curmudgeon. But yeah, nah, you got to write your rhymes to be considered the best, man. Hey, when we get back from the break, man, hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, I'll read some of your chat, and let's also talk a little bit about the Arizona Cardinals. They signed them a player, man, and wow, where the mighty have fallen. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and #1 independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes!
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
I'd been talking about red rice and frogmore stew. Another one on the list, on number 13 on this list, is peanuts taste better boiled. Yes. And as God is my witness, my wife did not know people boiled peanuts and ate them. She did not. My wife's from Ohio. And yes, boiled peanuts, if cooked right, are the bomb.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
All right, so I got to clear something up. And I don't even know why anybody's mind would even work like this, but evidently it's becoming a topic of conversation. In the last segment, I was talking about boiled peanuts, okay, that come from out of the ground, not boiled peanuts. And so, evidently there's some talk in the chat room about Doug talking about boiled man parts. No, peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts, okay? What is it, P-E-A-N-U-T-S? Peanuts. No, man, not boiled peanuts. Come on, man. And I see Vern in here. Damn you, Vern. Ugh. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. This is the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Hour number 2, baby. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir. August 18th, 2015. Thank you for joining your boy, man. I am super excited about the Doug Stewart Show weekend. You should be too. Meet your boy in Atlanta. The weekend of September 26th. We're a little bit under 6 weeks away, man. And obviously you're going to hear me talk about it a lot, man. It's a celebration of 1 year on Spreaker.com, on this platform, the DougStewartShow.com, my 20th year in the city, as well as bringing South Carolina people together. They did this Bronx thing a couple of weeks ago here in Atlanta, and I've never been to it. From what I understand, it's very successful. Vern actually called up here one day and was trying to promote it. Vern's supposed to be from Jersey, but he always claims New York. And from what I understand, it was successful. So for a couple of years, I've been trying to put together something like that because there's so many South Carolina people in Atlanta. And so we're doing it this year, man. We got the backdrop of the 1 year anniversary, 20 years here in the city. So it's a celebration, man, and I can't wait, man. Check out and get all the details on tdssweekend.eventbrite.com. And I mean, it's a lot of details. Thank you for the chat. And I'm going to read more of your chat here in a second. But this story came across my timeline this morning on Facebook, I think it is, from a guy named Todd Cunningham from The Wrap. And he covers Hollywood. That's the little moniker. And he talked about some of the reasons why Straight Outta Compton was such a success. The movie made $60.2 million in its first weekend of release. The experts, the quote-unquote experts, were expecting it to do around $20 million. So why was it so successful? And this guy, Todd Cunningham, gives a couple of reasons on why he thinks and Hollywood thinks that it was so successful. One of the first things he talked about, Ice Cube's charm, broad social themes, and witty lines like "Bye Felicia" helped the biopic connect with audiences. That was a cute little line with the "Bye Felicia" in the movie. The extent to which the film, directed by F. Gary Gray, reached across ethnic and gender lines surprised industry analysts who projected an opening of $20 million or less based on other rap-themed movies that played almost exclusively to their fan base. Instead, Compton posted debut numbers bigger. This is crazy! Praise God! It posted bigger numbers than Ant-Man, Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation, San Andreas, and Mad Max: Fury Road. Wait a minute. You tell me God can't make it happen. Do you know the budget behind a Marvel movie? I think they said that movie cost $150 million to make. Okay? Do you know the budget? Do you know the marketing machine behind a Marvel movie? Do you know the budget and the marketing machine behind Mission Impossible with Tom freaking Cruise? And Straight Outta Compton beat them. They best them on their first weekend out. Praise God. Wow. Incredible. Wow. Another factor, he said, is the music. The mainly African-American and white young males that made the music of NWA hugely popular despite limited airplay turned out in force for the film. That's another thing that we haven't talked about a lot. Is for the younger people that don't understand or didn't live through this era, you rarely heard NWA. Matter of fact, there's no rarely about it. You didn't hear NWA music on radio. I think they may have played, and I don't remember. We're talking late 80s here. I think they may have did like a clean version of Straight Outta Compton. But you know good and well they didn't play F the Police. You know they didn't play Easy, We Want Easy. You know they didn't play any of the classics you can think of from that early era NWA music. And they did all of this without no real commercial success. They had this buzz that was just crazy. And it was good to hear all of the original music, as I mentioned this yesterday, in the movie. I mean, it was fantastic. They were mobilized by concurrent issues, a release of the soundtrack, the first album in 15 years from Dr. Dre, whose appearance with Ice Cube on the Grammys in February raised awareness early. Let me say something about that. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. It seems like every time I turn on the radio for the last 2 weeks, I heard Ice Cube. Yeah. One thing you can say about Ice Cube and Dr. Dre is they will work your ass under the table. And you would think, you remember the whole story about Monique and going on the promotional tour to promote whatever movie that was. Was it her? I can't remember the name of the movie, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Where this whole backlash because she didn't want to go, quote unquote, and promote the movie abroad or something like that. No. Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, they understand how this thing works. And maybe it's partly because they're from Hollywood, and so they understand they've been in the industry for a long, long time, and they understand how this thing works. And so I promise you, I probably heard 15 different Ice Cube interviews over the last 2 weeks promoting this movie. Tireless workers. And that's what it takes to be the best. So kudos for those guys for that. The release date. There hasn't been a movie specifically targeting African-American audiences since the independent comedy Dope in mid-June, which a lot of people love, but I thought it was okay. But that wasn't key. The release date coming at a point in the summer when some fatigue sets in for moviegoers worked because we delivered a film that was something special, something that got audiences talking about it, said Universal Distribution Chief Nick Carpo. Yeah, they had real buzz. They had real buzz. The film's focus. What moviegoers were talking about, along with the performances, music, and backstory of the group's origin, were the broader social themes addressed in Straight Outta Compton. Police brutality, overcoming socioeconomic obstacles, and free speech right all matter, not only to African Americans, who made up 46% of the audience, but to whites, 23%, and Hispanics, 21% as well. Women also turned out and made up more than half of the crowd. Taking on those tough issues also helped with critics who had the film at 88% positive on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a service that rates movies. Marketing and social media, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and director Gary, who co-produced the film, have significant social media followings, and they reached out relentlessly to push the film and team with Universal Red Hot Marketing Unit. Cube and fellow NWA members MC Ren and DJ Yellow also reunited at the BET Experience in June. The team behind the film attended a series of special screenings, including one with the mayor in Atlanta and another in the YouTube space LA, where Cube spoke out about police brutality and Black Lives Matter movement. Obviously, with what's been going on in this country over the last 2-3 years, all the way back to Trayvon Martin, it ties into this. And I said this yesterday. It's crazy that all the issues and the riots back in L.A., what was that, the early 90s, 90, 91, and they showed all of the scenes where they were being harassed by the police. It's all relative to today. Even more so today, which is crazy, and that's 25 years ago. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's absolutely crazy, so I think people bought into that as well. And then the last thing he talked about, man, kind of tied into that whole social media thing, man, is that Straight Outta Compton meme generator thing that went down about a week before the movie came out. Everybody in America was doing straight out of this place and straight out of that, straight out of this. So, I mean, it's buzz, it's marketing, and them cats understand it, man. Kudos to everybody involved. You know, I tell people all the time, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the name of my company is Stewart Media and Entertainment. And the entertainment aspect is, you know, events, event promoter, that type of stuff. I've been throwing parties. Yeah, God is my witness. You can talk to people that grew up with me. Me and my boy B, my best friend in the world, Bubba. The first party I threw, I was in the 11th grade at the local Masonic Hall in our town. And tremendous turnout. We charged $3 a person or whatever. And at the end of the night, we made a ton of money in relative terms to a high school kid. And bad part of it is it was a lesson because it was a big fight at the end of the night. You know how we do when we young. It was a big fight at the end of the night, and the Masonic Hall wouldn't let me get the place again. So I learned a valuable lesson. You can't skip on security. So at the end of the night, I go home, and this is a long story. I'm gonna try to shorten it up here in a second. But I go home, and I got a wad full of money. It's like I'm a stripper or something like that. I got a bunch of ones. And the next morning, my old man walks into the room, and I got all this money laid out on the floor. And my old man says, you made that money from the party you had? You know, he old school. My old man country. You know, he raised up on a farm. He's like, you made all that money from that party you and Bubba had? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, my gosh, you need to keep doing that. That's exactly what he says. He says, you need to keep doing that. So I used to throw parties in college. I was actually the boss, the president of the chapter of the Qs that I was in when I was at South Carolina State. And so we always used to throw events. But the point that I brought that up is with this whole meme thing, everything and the way you promote events now is through social media. And I always remember how we used to have to get the flyers and print them up and distribute them, put them on people's windshields, this, that, and the other. I haven't made a physical flyer and throwing events, probably in 15 years. No lie. Everything is done through social media, and Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, they understand trends. They understand business as it is today. And that's probably their biggest claim to fame is these cats are visionaries, man. So kudos to NWA. My. Cats don't use flyers. What do you do when you get a flyer on your windshield when somebody put a flyer on your windshield? What do you do with it? You throw it on the damn ground. You got to do it through social media, man. And times have changed. Never thought in a million years, 20 years ago, that flyers would be almost obsolete. Now, they still have they still can help. They still can work. But, I mean, in relative terms to all your other marketing dollars, man, it ain't on flyers. It ain't on physical flyers. Trust me on that. All right, when we get back from the break, all I'm going to do is read your chat. That's all I'm going to do. Take your phone calls, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewart.com. Don't go away. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you could be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to all of the Stewies, man. I numb new. In the famous words of buckwheat. Yeah, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. A little bit later on today's show, we'll do your preseason football reports, and we'll talk a little bit about the USC Trojans, and we'll also talk about the Minnesota Vikings. But, man, I got to tell you about Strickland Security. Strickland Security can install the latest state-of-the-art alarm system in your home, but maybe that's not in your budget. The team at Strickland Security can fix your existing system or install just a basic alarm system so your home is protected, no upselling, and no contracts. Most security companies, I got to tell you this, only want to sell you a new system, but the team at Strickland Security, they want to help you protect your home and your family. If you're in bed sleeping, if you're taking a nap, if your wife is home alone or anything like that, and you hear a noise, you need to know if someone has just entered your home. Don't wait until it's too late. I saw this article, or it wasn't an article, it was an actual story on the news a couple of days ago, and there's this crew of cats kicking in doors in Atlanta. Young boys, man, and I hate to say it, one of them's going to get killed, or maybe all of them going to get killed if they continue to do this. These cats, they had them on videotape breaking and entering into a house, and this homeowner, he had a video system set up, and you actually can see these young boys' faces, man. It's sad. It's very sad, but it goes on all too much here in ATL. So check out my folks at Strickland Security, man. Let them come out and talk to you and your neighborhood about a neighborhood watch program and system that they can implement as well. Give them a call at 800-422-9075. Once again, 800-422-9075. Or check them out online at stricklandsecurity.com. That's stricklandsecurity.com. And make sure and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. The Arizona Cardinals signed Chris Johnson. They needed some more depth. Y'all know I always talk about it, but I have a little cousin that plays running back for the Arizona Cardinals, Andre Ellington. He's cousins with Bruce Ellington that plays for the San Francisco 49ers as well. Problem with Andre, though, he's had little injury issues, but they feel like that if he can stay on the field, he can be their number one guy and kind of remind you of a Chris Johnson, speed-type guy, can take hits, not the biggest guys in the world, but Andre kind of or has that type of skill set that Chris Johnson had when he first came into the league. Maybe not quite as strong, but once again, a little bit smaller and has gotten nicked up his first couple of years in the NFL. So they bring in Chris Johnson, who definitely has lost 2, 3, or 4 steps since he got into the league with the Tennessee Titans, rushed over 2,000 yards. They signed him as a backup, maybe to split some time even in the backfield for the Arizona Cardinals. 404-382-0338. Let me go ahead and grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug Stewart, what it do? John Fisher in the building, baby.
John Fisher, what up, baby? How you doing this morning, brother?
Man, I'm doing great, man. It's been an excellent show. That was a great call from Chief from Huntsville. But it's a little cloudy out here in Atlanta, Doug. There's only one thing that can make this show even better today.
Tell me
what that is, right?
Tell me what it is, John Fisher. Tell me.
Doug, we're going to need you to bless us with song today, baby.
Oh, John Fisher, I might just do a little something for y'all. Just because you called up here and requested, I might sing a little something for y'all, man. Or you know what? If I don't sing and I really don't have a focus on a particular song right now, maybe I'll replay one of my classics today on the show for you, John Fisher. What do you think about that? Would that be okay, man?
That works for me, man, because like I said, it's cloudy out here, but when Doug sings, the sun will come out tomorrow, baby.
Yeah, praise God. You know what it is, John Fisher. What else you got for me, man?
I kind of want to talk about the whole the RG3 thing. You know, I agree with him coming out there and saying that, look, I feel like I'm the best quarterback. Of course, he knows he's not the best quarterback, but if you don't have that mentality, especially being a athletic quarterback, you're going to go out there, you're going to get killed. Yeah. He's already going up against a coach that doesn't like him at all. You know, the owner likes him, the coach doesn't. So what's the man supposed to do? You go out there and you're going to say, yeah, I think I'm the best, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play like I'm the best. You know, whether and that's up to everybody else to decide whether he's the best or not. Whatever happened to self-confidence? You know, I'm supposed to go out there and say, you know, I'm probably the 28th best quarterback in the league. He ain't going to last. You know what I'm saying? And I applaud him for coming out there.
Right. That's good stuff. Hey, John Fisher, appreciate the call. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Exactly. What do you expect the quarterback to say? Yeah, I think I'm probably the 15th or the 20th best quarterback in the league. You don't become a quarterback. You don't get to that level of the sport if you don't have self-confidence. I really do believe that. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
What's up, Doug Stewart?
What's up? Who's this?
It's Jersey, man. Well, I get a phone call, man, waking me up, man. Joker's talking about Doug up there dogging you, man. What's up with that, man? What's going on?
Vern from Jersey, you know good and well that you my folk. I didn't say anything negative towards you. People always twist story. Vern, you my folk. You my peoples. I will say this though, Vern. I will say this about you. One day you tell me you from Columbus. The next day you tell me wait. The next time you tell me you from Passaic, New Jersey, and then another week you tell me you from Long Island. Where the hell you from, Vern? Where are you from?
Doug, all that is right around each other, man. That's why they call it the tri-state, man. You know what I'm saying? The 5 boroughs, Northern Jersey, all that is combined into one. Plus, I got people live all in the 5 boroughs, man. Right. So I used to be in the 5 boroughs every summer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and plus all my teams I was gone for 45 years, the Knicks, the Yankees, the Giants, and the Rangers, all there. You know what I'm saying? It's people that moves in and out. People work in Jersey. People work in New York.
Right.
Mass transit go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So it's all the same, man. You know. So, you know, hey, man, I'm claiming where I was born at. I was born in Jersey, but, you know, I got roots all in New York, too. So, okay. You know, what's up, man?
All right, Vern, forget about all of that. What you call it, man? What you want to talk about?
You from Moncks Corner, but you always claiming Charleston.
No, I never. Hold on. You never hear me claim Charleston. Never.
I used to hear you say. We can talk. We can ask Chuck Down Frank this.
Never. You can ask Chuck Down Frank. You can ask Ron. I never claimed Charleston. Charleston is the next town over, the major city, but I always claim Moncks Corner, Vern.
Hey, Doug, take this.
I don't understand what you just said, Vern, but turn your ass around. I don't understand. You try to do the little baby thing. Whatever the hell you were doing, I don't know what that means, but how about take this hot lead in your ass? No, I don't know what the hell he's just talking about. Never claimed Charleston. I love Charleston, though. That's my second hometown. And I'm inviting everybody from the Chuck, they call it, to come to Atlanta on the weekend of September 26th and kick it hard with your boy. Yes, sir. Chucktown, Charleston, for people that don't know South Carolina, is, if you're from Atlanta, is the equivalent to living in, Lithonia to downtown Atlanta. So my hometown is approximately 20 minutes from North Charleston, 25, 30 minutes from downtown Charleston. Never claimed Charleston. I love Charleston, but you always hear me rep the big city of Moncks Corner. Yes, sir. Oakley is in the house. And to take it a little further, and I say Moncks Corner because that's the actual town, But I actually grew up in an area. I guess it's the equivalent to if you live in Atlanta, somebody say they're from Adamsville or they're from East Lake or they're from some little area. The area I actually grew up is like 10 minutes from downtown Moncks Corner. And it's called Oakley. That's right. Oakley. Oakley Mafia. That's what we used to call ourselves. All right, 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougshow.com. When we get back from the break, we're going to talk about the USC Trojans, and we'll also talk about the Minnesota Vikings a little bit. Vince from Minnesota, where you at, baby? What's up with your Vikings? Teddy Bridgewater and them cats? Mike Wallace? We'll talk about them up next on the Doug Stewart Show. What are your thoughts? If you're a Viking fan, I know we got a lot of cats that listen to the show that are from the West Coast and are Trojan fans. Is Steve Sarkisian the guy? We'll kind of talk about it a little bit when we get back from the break. All right, this is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you not stewing, what in the world are you doing?
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your number one advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm going to do this Michael Jackson for you on this Friday, man.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
This for you, John Fisher.
Got to get Mike mode.
Not for you, but you understand what I'm saying. I don't swing like that.
There'll be no darkness tonight. Lady, our love will shine.
Yes, sir.
Lighting the light.
Oh, man.
Just put your trust in my heart and meet me in paradise.
Yes, sir.
Now is the time.
That boy is talented.
You're every wonder in this world to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Her treasured time won't steal away.
I love this part right here, y'all.
So listen to my heart Lay your body close to mine. Let me fill you with my dreams.
Oh my gosh.
I can make you feel alright. And baby, through the years, gonna love you more each day.
All right.
So I promise you tonight.
When you gonna promise
that
them, Dougie?
you will always be the lady in my life.
Yes, sir.
Lay back in my
Oh, man. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. You're welcome. You are absolutely welcome, man. I wasn't going to do that today, man, but the great John Fisher called up here and reminded me that your boy hadn't sung in a couple of days. I had a busy weekend, doing all of this stuff. So I really haven't had time to focus on a new selection for you. So I'll play you one of my classics, man. That's Michael Jackson's, if you didn't know, Lady in My Life. And that shouts out to all of the Stewies that request my music on a daily basis. Thank you very much. And you're welcome. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, boy. I mean, every day I wake up after a long night in the studio, every day I wake up and I look to the heavens and I say, thank you, God, from the heavens. Thank you for allowing me to bless my listeners, the Stewies, the dogs, the poodles, and all my fans with music, with song. And the Lord says to me, you're welcome. And so thank you to the Lord, and you're welcome to all of the Stewies and the listeners out there on the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's talk a little bit of football. Let's talk about the USC Trojans as well as the Minnesota Vikings, man. The Trojans last year, 9-4, 6-3 in the Pac-12. Steve Sarkisian, I think in his second year, or maybe this is the second year coming up this year, for the Trojans. They are preseason ranked number 2 in the Pac-12 behind the Oregon Ducks. Some of the polls that I've seen, they've actually behind the Arizona Wildcats, who look to have another big year, who had a solid year last year as well. So the thing about the Trojans is obviously the tough games that they have. They play Stanford in an annual big-time game, and they also play the Arizona State Sun Devils this year as well, who had their number over the last couple of years seemingly as well. The big question talking about USC football, once again, is Steve Sarkisian. Can he get the program back to that level where it was at for many years under Pete Carroll? A Pete Carroll disciple, went to Washington for a couple of years and comes back to coach the Trojans. And the other big question about this team is the quarterback position and Cody Kessler, who's a senior coming up this year. Can he follow in the long line of tremendous, and I mean tremendous quarterbacks, college quarterbacks, at USC over the last couple of years, once again, under Pete Carroll? Here's a couple other questions to talk about when you talk about USC football. Who replaces Nelson Aguilar, who looked fantastic? Once again, it's just a preseason game, but he looked pretty damn good for the Philadelphia Eagles this past weekend. The guy had 104 catches, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. The second leading receiver for the Trojans is Geno Smith, who had 54 receptions, 724 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Smith will start as the number 1 wide receiver, where other guys are going to have to step up. And you know what it is, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. If you're a program like USC, you've got nothing but 4- and 5-star players lined up and down your bench that we just haven't seen yet. And so I'm sure there'll be somebody that's going to step up for them this year. Can Sarkisian, or is he the right coach if he uses his resources? In 6 games as head coach, 5 with Washington, Sark hasn't won more than 10 games, 10 games once, and has underachieved with plenty of talented players. Will USC bounce back now that they have all their restrictions and have a top 5 draft class? Yeah, that's been the big thing, obviously. Ever since Pete Carroll left, they've been under these NCAA restrictions because of impropriety and illegal recruiting and all of that type of stuff and all of the things that went down with Reggie Bush and getting money from an agent. Will they get back to that level now that they are back at full staff? We will see. So that's USC coming in at number 2 preseason rank in the Pac-12. Let's talk a little bit of Washington or Minnesota Viking football. The Vikings look to do some big things this year in the draft. In the this year's 2015 draft, they took Trey Waynes, cornerback out of Michigan State, as their number 1 pick, number 11 overall, to try to shore up that defensive secondary. You know, last year they went 7-9, I believe it was, as far as record-wise. Expect a whole lot more this year from the team. Not only did they get Trey Waynes, they also picked up Mike Wallace, wide receiver, and also an old-ass Terrence Newman at cornerback. Because I already talked about Trey Waynes, the defensive back from Michigan State, being their first-round draft pick. They lost Greg Jennings. Here's the question about the Minnesota Vikings, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, is obviously the quarterback, the evolution of Teddy Bridgewater. Is he going to be that guy? Will they throw the ball downfield a little bit more this year in his second year as quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings? They've added, once again, Mike Wallace, that deep threat that can go down the field and loosen up the defense for all the underneath patterns as well. So will Teddy Bridgewater take that progression and be even better with a year under his belt as quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings? Why do I keep saying Washington? Adrian Peterson is back as well. We haven't talked about him a lot. Didn't play in the first preseason game. Traditionally, he hasn't played in the preseason. Is it going to be one of those situations where he came back from that knee injury and shocked the world and rushed for over 2,000 yards, almost broke the single-season mark, but fell a little bit short? The guy hadn't really played football in a long time. He says that he's in top condition, been working out. He's a true professional. If they get Adrian Peterson to be Adrian Peterson of a couple of years ago, oh my gosh, it's going to be such an easier job for Teddy Bridgewater this year in the passing game. So we'll see how that turns out. Will former number 4 overall pick Matt Khalil go back to Matt Khalil of his rookie year? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Last year kind of struggled. He allowed 16 sacks in the past 2 seasons. That's pretty drastic from what he did in his rookie year, which I only think he gave up 4 sacks in his rookie year. So we'll see if he can get back to form as well. And what are they going to do in that NFC Central division? Obviously, the Green Bay Packers are the team to beat. A lot of people have them pegged to go back to the Super Bowl and represent the NFC. Will the Vikings make up some ground and vie for that division and maybe even shock the world as well and make a deep run in the playoffs? So there you have it, your USC Trojans and your Minnesota Vikings on the Doug Stewart Show. I always liked the Vikings colors, even before I was a Q. I really like the purple and gold. And Prince always talks about Purple Rain. What is the tie-in? And you can hit me on the Spreaker chat, Vince, if you can't call in, if your boss is on your back or something like that. Vince, big Vince Smooth, is from the state of Minnesota, and he's a big Minnesota sports fan. What's the semblance in purple in the state of Minnesota? I mean, it's not a coincidence. They got purple uniforms and Purple Rain, Prince, and all of his Purple Majesty and all of that stuff. Is there some type of historical significance to the color purple? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We're going to jump to a break right now. When we get back, damn it, the show is almost over. When we get back from the break, all I'm going to do is read some of your chat posts. I see a ton of posts in here thanking me for making their day by me going into song. And you're welcome, but I'll read some of those pleasantries when we get back. All right? And whatever else you're talking about on the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir! Oh, man. Man, I love this. I love doing this show, man. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free.
That's Stu for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code Stu, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code Stu.
The Doug Stewart Show.
The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show.
If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
6 minutes.
6 minutes. 6 minutes. Got your pressure on.
Is it real?
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Are you not entertained? That's the only question I ask. Are you not entertained? You know you are. Where else you gonna get this real sports and guy talk but on the Doug Stewart Show? I mean, where else are you gonna get it? I really need you to tell at least one person about the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, my gosh, you're sitting there at work in your little cubicle or whatever. Boss is riding your back. I mean, wouldn't you love to hear me sing Ribbon in the Sky, or, you know, You're the Lady in My Life on the Doug Stewart Show, and talk about these sports, talk about whatever is going on in the news, straight out of Compton conversation, black quarterbacks. I mean, wouldn't you rather hear that on the DougStewartShow.com than some other whack asses, you know, on radio and online? You know you do, man. I mean, hell, I'm looking at all of these chat messages, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From What's Up, Falcons, he says Doug is blessing us with his MJ classics. That's exactly what I do. From Juan Cruz, shouts out to you, Juan Cruz in New York. From Juan Cruz, Juan says, "Oh my gosh, Doug is absolutely killing, and I mean that in a good way, this Michael Jackson song." Thank you, Juan Cruz. Stagger Lee, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The great Stagger Lee, shouts out to you, bro. Stagger Lee has a bunch of pictures of, I guess it's a black guy smiling. He's got a bunch of pictures of a black dude, of a brother smiling. And I guess that's just acknowledging how happy he is right now that he's heard me sing. So you're welcome, Stagger Lee. And the black guy has his hands up to the sky like saying, "Praise God, thank you, Lord, thank you," in the little emoji type thing. The great Keith K3000, the man just put like 20, 30 little fires and smiley faces as well. The emoji things are real hot in the Spreaker chat. And so, thank you, K3000. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. John Fisher, who called and spurned me to play one of my classics, he just put, yes! Yeah. Bussa. I don't know what Bussa's talking about. He doesn't know how to spell correctly. I can't read his. For Miss Mocha Bella,
Reading all of this from the Spreaker chat on Spreaker.com. Thank you. Ms. Mocabella says, my favorite song of Michael Jackson, Lady in My Life. Yes, sir, Doug. You did that. Yes. So now you see. Now you kind of get an understanding, if you're new to the show, on what it means for me to sing to the people, just to put a smile on their face. That's all. Just to put a smile on their face on a hectic day, on a hectic week, work day. And that's what I do, is I put smiles on people's faces with song, through song. Let me see if I got any more here. From Stagger Lee, he says, Jersey Vern, the Giants suck more than your calls. That's saying a lot. Vern's calls don't always suck. A lot of times they do suck, though. But they don't always suck. Love you, Vern. Let's see what else we got here. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Just a lot of just kudos of my selection a little bit earlier, man. And you know, I do it for you. Yeah, I just need to understand that I do it for you, not for anybody else on the Doug Stewart Show. I do it strictly for you. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. I do it for you. Hey, listen, man, we're doing a lot of great work on Fiverr.com. If you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, you like to advertise on the Doug Stewart Show, your product, your brand, an event coming up, whatever that may be, you can get a 60-second ad on the Doug Stewart Show starting at $5. That's right. You heard me. On Fiverr.com. Now, I suggest you do more than one to get that real oomph, that real kick, for your advertising dollar. But, yeah, for $5, man, we can promote your business, your product, once again, whatever you want to promote on the Doug Stewart Show. We have right of refusal now. We're just not going to promote, a KKK rally or something like that. We're just not going to do that. But, yeah, $5, man, 60-second ad on the Doug Stewart Show. So that's Fiverr.com. That's Fiverr, 2 R's at the end, Fiverr.com. And just search the Doug Stewart Show when you get on there, and you see all the gigs. We actually will promote your company on the Doug Stewart Show with a 60-second ad. We'll do voiceovers, me and Tree as well. We'll also, what else do we do? Oh, we'll even play or broadcast your podcast on the Doug Stewart Show. We'll engineer it, or we'll just replay your MP3 on our network, the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. So we're doing a lot of great things on Fiverr.com. We also we can promote you on our social media platforms. All right, that's Stewart Media, the Doug Stewart Show on Instagram, Twitter. We have over 11,000 followers on Twitter. So, yeah, we can help you out, man. Check me out on Fiverr.com. Yeah, let me read a couple more of these chat messages from Fred Mack. Fred Mack says, I'm city boy. I know nothing about the country. From Encyclopedia Brown. Vince, there's a guy in my fantasy league whose team name is Adrian Beatty Sons, or Beattier Sons. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're having a little side conversation. From Jersey Vern, he says, I'm this bitch like dead man still walking. After I had to lay some hot lead in his bunkie. From Busa, like me, I'm from the Tidewater area, Hampton, my hometown, Newport News, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Suffolk, 757. I rep the low country in the same conversation. From Sandman, hey Vince, what's that dude's name who liked 12.5 sacks for the Vikings last year, getting him on my fantasy league? You play, and I played in one of those fantasy leagues before where you actually pick individual defensive players. It's very rare that you see those leagues. That's very detailed to start picking defensive linemen. I think one of the first fantasy leagues that we did for the Two Live Stews, we're talking probably 2004, 2003. I think the person that set up the league, the commissioner, set it up where we actually picked defensive backs. So you had to pick guys that could get you interceptions and get you deflections, pick defensive linemen. That's a lot right there. That's a whole lot. Speaking of which, fantasy draft got to be coming up real soon for the Doug Stewart Show, which I am going to win. I just need to tell y'all right now, and if I haven't told you, you are playing for second place. in this fantasy league. The fantasy brother is back. I mean, I'm really, really looking to kick some ass in the Doug Stewart Show Fantasy League this year. Really looking to do that, man. From Dollars and Cents, that was the funniest interaction ever. Vern went BZ or Biz Markie with his own gun sound. Yeah, what the hell was that? That was horrible. Vince went like, Vern went, are you 7 years old, ninja? Don't come up here with no weak-ass sound effects like that, man. We got this hot steel for your ass. From Sluggo. Sounds like the gun Arsenio was shooting at all them nights. Don't talk about my gun like that, Sluggo. From Cleo to 72, laugh aloud. Vern sounded like Sean gurgling blood before 50 put that last shot in him. Yeah, that was horrible, Vern. I mean, I'm giving you. Matter of fact, hold on a second. I'm sorry. I'm reaching down for my notepad right now. I'm sorry. Vern, I'm nominating your ass for a Ball Penis Award. How about that? Vern. For new listeners to the Doug Stewart Show, we have a weekly thing called the Boyle Penis Award, and it goes out to the buster of the week in sports, entertainment, and beyond, and in this case, Stewie. So I'm nominating Vern right now. We'll give out the award. On Friday afternoon. And so Vern is our first nominee for the Boyle Penis Award. It's a long story on where the origin of the name came from. Ask people in the chat room and they'll tell you. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm still writing Vern's name. F-O-R-D. Period. So, Vern, you have been nominated for a Ball Penis Award for that weak-ass call. Sound effects. I don't know what the hell the sound effects were even intended for. Let's see. From the brother Beloved. Hold on, Vern. Doug ain't never claimed Charleston. Monk's gonna rep, and you better believe it. Not that I don't love Charleston. I call Charleston my second hometown. But always rep Monk's Corner, baby. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show from John the Company Man. Everybody gonna die. Pune. Everybody gonna die. I guess he's mocking my gun from the 47 Problem. That's where my kids' folks are from. Geechee Nation, Chucktown, South Carolina, baby. Yes, sir. The home of the Geechee. Speaking of which, this is gonna be so crazy. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. That Sunday, September 27th, for the Falcons-Cowboys viewing party, we are bringing in Uncle Ray. And if you go to the Two Live Stews tailgate, you know Uncle Ray. When we have a big tailgate, a special game is in town, Uncle Ray will come up with Uncle Ray's Barbecue and Catering from Sumter, South Carolina. Uncle Ray is coming up, hauling his big-ass barrel grill behind us, and he's going to be cooking, tailgating, catering in the parking lot at Sweet Lounge on Sunday, September 27th. So the price that you pay to come to the game, it's also a day party. We've got DJ Bing on the Wheels of Steel inside of Sweet Lounge. We actually have the rooftop. Okay, at Sweet Lounge on Sunday, September 27th. We have the rooftop, DJ Bing providing the music on the Wheels of Steel for the day party aspect, which between the commercials, halftime, and at the end of the game, we're going to be partying like it's 1999, DJ Bing. And that one price lets you eat from Uncle Ray's Barbecue and Catering from Sumter, South Carolina. Oh, my gosh. It's going to be crazy. TDSSweekend.eventbrite.com. And I mentioned it as well. The significance of the Falcons playing the Cowboys is, one, we're in Atlanta. And we love Atlanta. We love the Falcons. And two, South Carolina is really a cowboy state. I think if you polled 10 people, I think 7 out of 10 people would tell you they were Cowboy fans, at least that grew up during the era that I did. And so, Cowboy fans, Falcons fans, day party, Uncle Ray's Barbecue, one price gets you in for the party and to eat, classic South Carolina cuisine on the grill from Uncle Ray. It's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Yes, sir. You better get your tickets. Woo! 20 years in ATL. The Doug Stewart Show 1-year anniversary. And all my South Kakalaki people coming to the ATL, we're going to do it real, real big. Get your tickets now. There's limited rooms available. They gave me a small block of rooms at the Doubletree Hotel. Go to tdssweekend.eventbrite.com and click on the link. $99 get you a room at the Doubletree Hotel, the Host Hotel in Buckhead. Hey, man, I need to see your face in the place. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to the Tree of Life, even though she wasn't here today. Still thank you, Tree. Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri, my engineers, and a special thank you to all of the Stewies, man. Without no you, there would be no me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Pass the word. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.